Hello everyone, this is Mayank and welcome back to my channel. So as I put a community post, we'll discuss today about a market leader in its sector. So the company which we will discuss today is Asian Paints. The Asian Paint is not unknown to anyone. People have used it in most of the cases. If not, at least people have heard of it for definitely. And this stock has been a darling of the stock market. It has given a tremendous return over a period of time. That means it has given a return of 7,000% over a period of 17 years. So that means if you invest 1,000 rupees, for example, 17 years back in its IPO maybe, then you could have made around 70 lakhs by now. So that's kind of return what this company has given. So 7,000%, that is a huge amount of return, right? But after giving such kind of return, do we have any kind of potential left in this particular company? So this is what we're going to discuss today. What is the current state, where it stays, like what is the status of Asian Paints in the overall market, and does it have the potential to give another 7,000% return, or maybe if not 7,000% return, at least 1,000% return in the next 15-20 years? So basically, can this stock be a multi-bagger or not? This is something which we are going to discuss today. And to discuss that, we'll not have a presentation today. Their presentation itself is so good that I cannot make a better presentation. So we'll go through their quarterly presentation one by one, and we'll discuss whatever they are presenting, what the management is saying, the commentary. We'll discuss on that, and then by end of the video, probably we can conclude into some kind of idea whether this stock is investable at this point of time or not. So there are two kind of commentary for this stock from investing perspective. First, this stock can be invested for a kind of compounding effect, where we say it's a good stock, kind of 20% CAGR it will give you. So that kind of return. Other thing is that you can invest from a long-term perspective, where we can get this stock as a multi-bagger return. So we'll understand both these aspects and see where it fits. Okay, so start. So I have opened this website of Beautiful Homes. So this is by Asian Paints. So this is something which I came to know today only, like while researching their phone call letters. So this website they launched, so they are trying to create an ecosystem of everything. So what they are saying, they are want to become a surface to surface company. So when this is surface to surface company, what they mean, they will provide everything from paints to furnitures to kitchens to bath fittings to tiles to the kind of tile joiners, and then their design service as well. They already provide painting services. Along with painting services, they will provide design services. So as we know, Asian Paints, so basically what we understand, Asian Paints is a paints company. Few people might know they have bathware fittings and all. I have personally used their one of the bath fittings in my washroom, like newly constructed house. So they are good, okay, but I have not gone into that kind of detail, all this kind of SKU they have in the bath fittings and kitchenware. But I basically use only one or two products of them. But those are good terms of their competitor. So they are going compared like full blown into this kind of auxiliary markets beyond their paid services. Okay, and this website is a testament of that. So if you see your products, what they have, so they have products, you see, rugs, furnitures, lighting, tiles, kitchen, bath, living room, dining room, bedroom, interior design services, and you can shop some products online also. Along with that, you can book some consultation. So if you notice here clearly, then this company is going to become much bigger than what it is right now. And whatever component returns what you have seen, that was only from basically from paint sector. But now imagine if all the sectors starts doing good, and there are a lot of competition definitely in the sectors. Furniture, they have other brands into furniture. If you come to tiles, they have Cera, they have in the kitchen and bath they have Jaguar, and in dining room they have other competitors. So they are new to the market in this particular segments, but the kind of brand what this company has, and the kind of management what they have, and the kind of return what they have given, and the kind of market leader what they have become in this sector. So when I say market leader, they are not just a market leader, they are by far the market leader in the segment. So when you talk about, I'll just go back to this particular thing. I'll show you one thing. So just go down here and you see what's the market cap of Asian Paints. Asian Paints market cap is close to 3 lakh crores, right? And if you go to second best is 57,000 crores, almost 60,000 crores if you see. So their second competitor is only 1/5 of their size. So that is the kind of market leader they are. So normally when we say market leader, we talk about difference of 1x or 2x kind of thing, or maybe 1.5x. But here the difference is 5x. That means they are a much bigger market leader. So one more important point if I want to highlight here. So we'll just go back to what Skinner says, right? So these points, I'll just click over here and few things I'll show you. So if you see here, yeah. So they are the third largest paint company in Asia. They are ninth largest coating company in the world. They have more than 50% years in the market leadership. and they have 3x of nearest competitor in India. What is wrong? Actually, they are more than 3x, they're 5x, right? So this data is 1 month old. So maybe they were 3x that time. They are top 3 player in decorative paints in 12 of the 14 countries outside India. So that is the size. More, if you see, they have more than 50% in share in the organized domestic paint market, out of which they have 60% more share in the 70 to 75% of decorative paint segment, which is comprised of 70% 75% of the Indian paint industry. So basically what it says, out of 100% paint industry, 70 75% is the decorative paints, out of which they have 60% market share. So that is huge, right? Then they have around 20% market share in the automotive industrial coating segment. So these cars, buses and all, which goes through paint services, right? So there they have also 20% market share. So they are huge in this particular paint segment. Coming back to beautiful homes, so with this kind of leadership being established and the kind of distribution they have put, so it's a huge distribution. Even remote places you'll find Asian Paints distributor or retailer, right? This kind of distribution they have, with that kind of distribution, if they start putting products in these particular segments, there is not much, there will not be that kind of time frame what they invested in getting the distribution to sell these products. The distribution channel platform is already ready made for them. The only thing they need is quality products. There is no problem with the brand name, there is no problem with the distribution, there is no problem with the management. The only thing what they need is the product which can compete with their nearest competitors. So we'll talk about these sectors also, where they are lying right now. Okay, but to explore, if you see, to explore this particular website, there's some feature stories where you can go through their serves, and then they have some blogs kind of thing where you can read, right? Then you can explore stores. They have shop where you can shop. So they have some stores also, right? So they have around 11 to, I think they have around 30 stores, experience stores, where you can go and see everything, how set up and everything, right? It's something like Paperfry. You see Paperfry stores, right? So they cannot buy from Paperfry stores, but experience there. So similar to that, they have put this beautiful homes website as well as retail stores. So they are going big time in these particular things. Services, all the paint services already is very popular for them, right? They give painters and everything, and most of the towns they do, right? And they have services for design services, for entire interior design services. So they're trying to create an ecosystem, as I told you before. So this is about beautiful homes. You can go and explore further what and all they do. So you can see these beautiful homes, they have been done using Asian Paint services and their products, right? So if you click on this, probably it's okay. So this works like this, and this is how it, yeah, it looks pretty good, right? So if you go further and you see, this is how they look. Wow, so this is amazing, right? So this kind of what they are doing. Now let's go back to the Concall letter. So Concall letter, if you see, it's a very good presentation website where you don't need to read more, right? So if you see what they are saying, so there are some bad news also, okay, from quarterly basis. That will go in quarterly, quarter on quarter. I will say it's not year on year, it's quarter on quarter. So it's year on year. So year on year volume growth has been not been good. In 22 quarter 2 they have a growth of 34%, where quarter 2 they have growth of around 10% only. Same goes for value, of 35% value growth in last year same quarter, whereas 20% value growth this year same quarter, right? And then if you see half yearly volume growth, last year first half they have 58% growth. This year first half they have only 22% growth. In value growth also, this volume growth. Volume growth also they have 56% last year half year, and 37% this year half year. But they are saying that compounded they are growing 7.7% last 3 years, and then same goes for value around 20%. 3 years half yearly growth they are saying around 18.9% for 3 years. So quarterly part they don't want to highlight here. They give a reason why this is not growing is because of first thing is inflation. Second thing is that the monsoon has extended. So basically when monsoon extends, people don't try to paint their walls and everything. They stop this kind of activities, and this reduces the sale. So what they are saying as per the Concall letter, so this is the presentation, not the Concall letter. If you go to the Concall letter, what they are saying that because of this monsoon things, normally monsoons are utilized for stocking. So once monsoon gets over and people go to festive season, that already October we have seen, right? Entire October was festive season. So when the people go into festive seasons, this stocking what was done in monsoon season gets utilized, and the sales increase in quarter 3 and quarter 4 substantially compared to quarter 2, right? And the reason what they are saying is definitely the inflation and everything, people are not buying, and then monsoon extended. So it's kind of reason what they are saying why this particular sales reduced. So let's go further and check this slide. So this slide is a consistent trend of double digit volume growth, right? So 20.3% 3 years volume growth in quarter 2 financial year 22. In quarter 3 of FY22 they have 20.2%, but this is only 17.7% in quarter 2 FY23. So this is relatively lower, but they are saying this reason is definitely inflation and all those COVID also played a role here because they take last 3 years of growth, right? So three years compounded growth. The 3 years COVID, 2 quarters of COVID also came. So overall it becomes 7.7%, which they are saying that this will increase further. Going forward, it will become much better, and the reason for it also we'll see further down the slide. So here they are saying they have biggest paint services like safe painting services in the world with presence in more than 628 towns. So using beautiful homes, the services and all they provide in 628 towns. So this is very important factor to note. I'll just highlight this part. They have strong foreign project or institutional businesses. Okay. Right, government and factory segments and flooring segments. The flooring segment, when we talk flooring segment, they are manufacturing tiles also. They are manufacturing joiners also. They are kind of manufacturing fillers also. They are manufacturing adhesives also. So they're getting into that segment where they want to cover the entire flooring part. They're expanding. So they're adding 8,000 new retail points in first half of this year. Now this is why this is very big, because Asian Paints always known for the distribution and their prediction of distribution, right? Now if a company which is so rich in distribution, if they add 8,000 new retail points, that means they are going way deeper than other competitors are right now. So even small towns and villages, within few years or maybe a couple of quarters, you might see that they are present in even small villages where their competition like Berger, Indigo Indigo is not even a competition, but since it's been suggested, let's say Indigo, Berger cannot even try to reach in those kind of places, right? So this is like, it sounds very less, 8,000 new retail points, but if you consider where they are, this is not a small number because they're already very well distributed, right? And they have launched 4 products in this particular quarter too. So these 4 products are somewhere it's named like that. Asian Paints Gliss Ultra Matte, then they have Tractor Spark enamel. Okay, so we'll be home. So they're pouring in that home decor. So home decor plays a, so why I'm interested in this particular stock right now is because they are foray into home decor. Okay, paints industry, they have done everything good, but there is a limit where paint industry can go. Now what is the industry of paint? So size of the paint, so size of the paint industry is growing or will grow at the range of 10% CAGR. So that's a good growth rate. And if you compare to other countries, if you Google, you will see that the per capita paint consumption in India is around roughly 4 kg, which is more than 8.2 kg in the Southeast Asian countries. So India has a lot of way to cover, and the kind of growth in paint sector will not come from tier 1, tier 2 cities. It will come only for tier 3 and tier 4 cities or small towns, because the people are shifting from non-branded to branded segments. People are trying to go up a notch in their spend and their lifestyle. So from Berger, which is a little bit on the lower price segment, they will move to Asian Paints. People who are in Indigo, maybe they will move to Berger Paints. So this transition will happen. When this transition happens, the company's revenue increases and they try to capture a bigger market share. And when I say bigger market share, they will not capture from the existing competitors, but they will create a new market for it. This is very important because when you capture a market share from a competitor, your market size doesn't increase. But when you capture a market share from a new market, that means you're increasing the market share itself. So you have now 2 opportunity. First, to increase the market size. So basically increase your space to cover more, and then you can, second wise, you can take market share from existing competitors also. So you have 2 options to like horizontally scale up, right? So this is where Asian Paint going from paint side. Okay, so paint side there's definitely kind of growth is there, but most interesting and I think the biggest growth story for this company will come from home decor. So if you see, they're saying that transition was share to surface to share of space kind of okay, the word saying share space means they will provide everything. Beautifulhomes.com we have seen already. They have more than 36 store functional. Okay, and they have beautiful home services, design services with their 11 cities, where paint service around 670 towns. So this is what the beautiful homes looks like. We've seen already. Now, so to achieve this, what they have done? Okay, so they have acquired few companies. One company called White Tick. So White Tick does decorative and designer lighting. So if you see the zoomers and all those things, so this company does this. So you see how this company, like, it gets really interesting about here right now. I'm not sure about you, but I get really excited when this kind of companies transition into something which is not their forte, but they are such a position that they can make these things work for them, because whatever expertise they've learned in the past and whatever platform they created in the past. So if you see, White Take is lighting services. Weather Seal provides UPVC windows and doors, right? So now if I want to construct a house, Asian Paints gives me every damn thing, right? So apart from brick and sand, so let's suppose I construct the house using some contractor or mason, right, or myself, and then after I construct everything from door, windows, your paints, your tiles, then your putty, then your lightings, everything, design services including I get from Asian Paint. So this is a very huge service. Now let me give a very example over here. When I constructed this house, okay, recently constructed house, the kind of money we spent on paint, like putty, paint, and your white cement kind of services, right? White cement also discussed now. The kind of putty and paint, basically that was costing me around 20-25,000 only. Okay, I'm talking about interiors, not outside of the house. The interior part, it costed around 25 to 30k, somewhere around that. But the kind of money which is spent on doors, tiles, white cement, then your flooring, lighting, that costed more, like in six figures. So the difference of the price what is spent on paint, the ticket size of what is spent on paint is it definitely less than 1/5 to 1/6 of the money, not a 1/6. If I tell you honestly, it goes up to 1/10. Okay, the price what is spent on 10th on this entire paint is 1/10 the price what is spent on doors and lights in the small house. So that is the market size. This is the size what this company is trying to capture. There's a huge market share over it. So that's why I'm thinking the real growth which will come from this company will come from this particular segments. Coming back to this, White Tech generated around 24 crores in first half of quarter two, around 44 crores in first half. Last year they did 58 crores. This thing dipped. Then if you see 7 crores for Weather Seal, okay, so Weather Seal does PVC windows and doors, right? So Weather Seal is 7 crores in this quarter, whereas last year they did same quarter 14 crores. So these sales has dipped, but they are saying this sale doesn't. It's a cyclical kind of things. So people go for decoration, all those things. In the case of festive seasons, okay, so they are saying this segment will grow in the coming quarters much faster than the previous two quarters. But still, if you compare, these sectors are very small, minuscule. So they contribute only 2.5% around to this company's revenue. That is around 84-85% comes from the paint segment itself. But this segment, so they have not told anything in the commentary, the kind of projection for this segment. But if you dig down deeper, it can grow into a size what Asian Paint is doing right now if they do it right. Now, Asian Paint is a monopoly, there's no doubt about it, and creating a monopoly in all these sectors, all this product variation might not be possible even for a company like Asian Paints because they have already established competitor. But even if they snatch some market share of them, so if you consider any house construction, the kind of expenditure on paint, the kind of expenditure on the other windows and everything, lightings and everything, difference will be definitely 8 to 9 or 10x also in many cases, right? So that is the market size. Even if they take 20% of that, entire segment can become much bigger than paint what they have right now. So there is a very high possibility that it can become. I'm not saying it will become. There is a very high possibility if they do everything right, it can become. So this is a sector which is very interesting. Okay, now kitchen business. So I'm talking about everything. Okay, not only the CPVC and White Tech or Weather Seal. It's about everything. Kitchen segment, they've done 100 crore plus delivery in for fifth continuous quarter. Kitchen business, if they're saying for the quarter to financial 23, quarter on quarter, they increased by around 35%. Then if you see 14%. Then if you see half year wise, increased by 227%. Same grows bath business in the sense all these basins, sinks, then faucets, all these things they provide also, right? So 102 around the crores. So 11% they grow in the quarterly wise. Half year wise they grow around 51%. So this is a huge growth, right? There's 100 crore plus delivery fifth consecutive quarter. So they give full kitchen solutions, including these things like your fittings, then your basins, then your modular kitchen, everything they provide. Then the bath business, they have collaborated with project segments in decorative businesses. They have bath sense. They acquired some company called SS. Using that, they have added more products to it, and now they are slowly entering the bath segment and sanitary segment. So here they put some loss over here compared to last year. So this is what they are saying, right? But personally, I'm very fine with it because it's a very new segment. With inflation, everything going on, they might go for a loss. But overall, the management is very strong, and there's no doubt that this will become very good. And if you ask me personally, the product which I used here in my washroom, basically I used this wall mixture and a faucet, right? So these two things I bought from Asian Paints, and both these two things are really good. There's no complaint from my side. I use Jaguar also, I use Asian Paints also in both two washrooms, and these things are really working good. Okay, there's no doubt about it. If somebody, and they're priced competitive also. Now comes to international business. So international business, they are present in these many places. I'll not read about the places, you can go through yourself. And they operate under these many brands name in this particular all these countries. The interesting part is that in one of the country number 3, I think it's which one? Country number 3 is 1, 1, 2, 3. Country number 3 is Qatar, Oman, and UAE. So Middle East basically, right? So Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, UAE. Yeah, it's a Middle East. So Middle East, they are operating by the name of Berger. So Asian Paints, Berger. So Berger is subsidiary from Asian Paints. This is interesting because Berger Paint itself is a company name, right? Which is the competitor name, and they are putting their name itself as a subsidiary in these 4 countries. So this gets quite interesting because if somebody someday tomorrow Berger want to launch in this in these countries, or might be they might be present also. I'm not sure, but if they'll try to launch in the future, they might get some kind of resistance from this Berger brand, which already Asian Paints established in this kind of countries, Middle East countries. Okay, let's go down further and see what kind of commentary business in terms of revenue growth. So challenging this condition across markets with inflation. So they are want to focus on pre-luxury and waterproofing categories. Okay, and that is playing well, right? So they are moving into premium segments. Then they have got some business issues in Sri Lanka, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Bangladesh, because you see what went into Lanka. Their forests have reduced a lot. Ethiopia also, like, it's not a very developed country. Bangladesh also recently, 2-3 months back, if you follow the this kind of news, international news, then their forests are also reduced. So when this company forests are reduced, obviously the kind of sales will get hit in this kind of company, because people reduce their purchasing power. Indonesia, they are saying scaling up but very slow pace. India is their major market. The profitability, if you see, improved significantly on the back of price increase undertaken to get inflation, as well as cost of efficiency measures, right? So they are saying they increase the price, but if you go through management commentary, they are saying that increase the price, no doubt, but they will not keep on decreasing price based on the price or the fluctuation in the raw material price. So they are saying will increase and will decrease also, but it's not very frequent because they don't want to lose the customer confidence. So they will increase and they will not decrease very fast. If they decrease, they will not increase very fast. They are going to take the cost also. They are going to take the profit also. But these frequent changes they will not do. Okay, so in some quarter you might see. Why I'm saying this, because if suppose this quarter inflation is high and they didn't increase the price, that's how the margin will get reduced. But next quarter also, if you see they increase the price, so the margin is okay. But third quarter, if they don't decrease the price but raw material price decreased, that time the profit will be higher. So this kind of thing will happen, but they cannot go ahead with this kind of changes and change their price very frequently, because they are not that kind of management. This is what management is saying. Now this is one big sector, which industrial businesses, car coating, and this kind of boilers coating. Okay, and then road you see white lines and everything. So this comes from industrial businesses. So they have 20% market share, as I told you, in industrial business, and they are banking very high because India's automotive sector is going to grow. It's already grown a lot, and probably it will grow further also. And when it grows, Asian Paints, this sector will also grow along with the market. Okay. Now they have a tie-up with something called PGP AP. Okay, so here they have tied up with this company. Okay, so protective coating kind of sector, you can go through all the sectors. The growth with this industrial business is also very good. You see a 225% growth in the quarter 2 financial 23, and half one FY 23 is around 40% growth, right? And then if you see their inflation, we are saying because inflation their margin reduced and everything. So their operating margin, gross margin, somewhere in 35.6%, but this happened because of inflation or raw materials and everything. Management is saying they will, by quarter 3 and quarter 4, they will reach their 39-40%, what they are always target. So if you see some quarter it goes about 38.9%, some quarter goes 35%, some quarter 36.9%, but average they want to maintain in the range of around 39-40%. Why it increased here? They're saying material inflation was around 2%, where the price increase is only 1%. Here the material increase was 6%, the price increase is 2%. So this difference of inflation and increased price impacts a lot on margin. As I told you, this company is not someone who does it very intermittently, this price increase. They will do very periodically. These changes you will see. Okay, now if you see their gross margin, everything standalone. So standalone, something which you're not interested, we'll go for consolidated only. See, consolidated quarter 2 of this year and quarter 2 of financial year last year, the net sales, gross margin, profit before tax, profit before depreciation, then profit before tax and profit after tax. Okay, so this is the kind of changes they're saying. Gross margin reduced. Okay, profit before depreciation also reduced. Then your profit before tax increased, but profit after tax also increased. Right, but net sales reduced. Okay, this is what they're saying. If you see robust net sales growth 20% quarter at consolidated levels, and all business have done growth, right? So interim dividend given around 4.4 per share. This is what they think. This is not important for us. Because it's not important because Asian Paint is not a company where you buy for dividends. A company of 3,000 rupees, stock of 3,000 rupees, if they give 4.4 rupees per share, that is not a dividend stock, and should not invest in this company for dividend. So we'll skip this part. Now this is where they are saying their merit outlook. Festive season demand will increase. They are saying consumer sentiments uptake because obviously wedding season people get the house decorated. Festive season Diwali just passed, people painted their house. Okay, good monsoon, people farmers got a lot of money, like at least some money, and they will start painting their house. So this kind of things are adding more revenue position for this company. B2B projects, roads are getting constructed, new factories are getting set up, automobile sector is doing good. So this kind of is also adding revenue to this company. These are the positive parts. Now comes the second interesting part. First interesting part was the bathware, kitchens, and all those services or services and products. Second most interesting part is the new technology what they're going to add to their paint business, which will improve their margin and which will add more revenue also and more differentiating factor with their competitors. So nanotechnology, for this they acquired a company called Grind. It's someone Harin they acquired, where they have right now 51% stake, but they will buy 39% more stake over the next 5 years if everything falls in place, like whatever target or whatever product or research company, right? So whatever target they have given to the company, if all falls in place, they will acquire more 39%. So this will make around 90% holding for this company. So kind of all acquired, right? So this is what. So they are saying nanotechnology will add a lot of variables to the component in the product, which will become it more reliable, more weatherproof, more stickiness, and everything. So basically, the product quality will improve. And then comes the backward integration project, what they are doing. This product called vinyl acetate ethylene, it's a VAE, and vinyl acetate monomer VAM. VAM is used to produce VAE also. So they are trying to set up these two plants, and they are going to spend around 2100 crores in over 3 to 4 years for setting up this 1.5 lakh ton per annum capacity of VAE and 1 lakh ton per annum for VAM. As per the management commentary, this VAM and VAE will add around 5 to 6% gross margin. So basically the gross margin is around 40% what they are saying, right? That will go up to 45 to 46% after 3 years when these plants becomes operational and they of VAE and VAM production. So VAE and VAM production is a backward integrated company what they are saying setup process. Basically it will add a lot of in the enamel emulsion business, what they some emulsion they produce themselves and some they outsource from other companies. So they will do everything together, and more than that, this company will add the required product features which will increase their sales and increase their margins also, because they can sell those things at a little bit premium price. For this, they have collaborated with Kellogg Brown and Root LLC. Okay. Then they started a white cement joint venture. So these are four very very important things. First, their foray into bathwares, kitchens, tiles, and all those things. Okay. Consumer segment, basically the entire consumer segment, and then they have getting into VAM and VAE backward integration. The second part, then they are getting into we just forgot. So the VMV, then they are getting nanotechnology. Third part, and fourth part, they are setting up a white cement joint venture in UAE. So there's a company called Riddhi Siddhi, I think. Yeah, so Riddhi Siddhi Group, they have tied up with this company. So this company has mines of around 50 years, 100 years kind of lease where they'll produce limestones. So these limestones will be like that together will set up factories from which limestones will be used to produce white cement. So white cement is used in a lot of places. If you repair some kind of things, if you put a, for example, you put a basin, so you need to white cement to close the gaps and everything. If you put tiles, you need white cement. If you put some kind of this nets, you get, right, some steel nets you put in the washroom where water outlet and everything, right? So that also you need white cement for that. So white cement has multiple uses, and white cement is used in putty also. So to manufacture all these things, they need white cement. So they are setting up their venture in UAE in a place called Mujaira or something. Okay, where they are setting up this plant with investment of around 550 crores, and this will create this white cement market for them. With the help of, they'll cover the entire market of different products. So white cement is something very big on their plan. They were planning to do it for some time, but they have now executed the plan. Okay, and in the joint venture, 60% is their ownership and only 40% is of Riddhi Siddhi. The place name is that only it's Fujairah. Yeah, Fujairah anyway. Okay. So this is what is very important. Now overall, if you see how much they are going to spend, so we'll see also that plan to make significant investment for next 3 years. Like the brownfield expansion across multiple manufacturing facilities will increase their paint production itself by 30%. So around for next 3 years, so that means it will become 22.7 lakh kiloliter per annum. So 30% revenue growth in the paint sector also something which we can look after. Then they are expanding their product segments also. I told you beautiful homes, then nanotechnology in paints and waterproofing. So that will also increase their products. So these are the money what they're going to 6,750 crores in the span of next 3 years. Out of which 3,400 crores will go into capacity expansion. Backward integration will go for 250 crores, and some acquisition they have done, that is 800 crores already they announced. So these are the things what they're doing. It's a company, responsible company. We'll not talk about all these things, okay? But if you see, it's a good company. Overall management is good, and if you see, you want to see how management good, this is what they are saying. They have 282% water replenishment. That means 62% reduction in specific non-processed freshwater consumption. So they are consuming less water. They are replenished more water. They have more than 3,400 tons of post-consumer flexible plastics and more than 8,800 tons of post-consumer rigid plastic collected recycled across 23 states in India. So they are environment friendly company. These things are something which I don't want to talk about because this management has done tremendous good work over the past 17 years and they are doing extremely good. 17 years is something they listed, but this company is more than 50 years, roughly 50 years old company. So they have done like tremendous job over this period of time. From company wise, we should not have any doubt or any kind of ethical issues with this company. Plan wise, this company is doing everything right. And I personally think that this company can still give a multi-bagger return from here. Maybe through stock split, they will increase your shareholding, or definitely I think this company should go with a stock split maybe down the line. But if they don't want to, probably they can become like MRF kind of big. But there's all the chance if things fall in place, especially this particular bathware, kitchenware, and tile sector, flooring sector. If these three things falls in place, this company can still give a multiplier return. Maybe not 7,000%, but at least 1,000% return. This company can still give, and that's a very good return with a risk-free company, which is a CAGR of 25% every year for last 17 years. Probably I've not yet invested in this company, but somehow I'm thinking that I should definitely go ahead slowly and steadily and get into this company because it can provide a good return. But saying that, you take your decision yourself. Don't just rely on 30 minutes of analysis. Spend your time in the quarterly con call letter. Spend your time in the annual report, and then see whether this stock can be a good investment in your portfolio or not. This was a video. Might have hurried this thing because entire con call letter reading it might take hours and hours. So I've hurried these things, but probably maybe I was able to give the point or give the food for thought for you to read more on this. Thanks so much for watching. Stay happy, stay safe.